Second 65 for Waterford.
And all of this, Marty, eats down the clock, and all Tipperary want to do now is try and keep control from here till, you know, they're 9 points up. Keep control from here to the end. Waterford will be forced to try and get goals when there'll be point chances, and if they don't get that, well, the defence normally grows and grows psychologically.
Tony Brown, what will he do? Drop it in, try and take the point. Okay. And he takes the score. That's 3 points for Tony Brown. Waterford are going to introduce a substitute. Coming on is Tommy Ryan. And he's going to take the place of the team captain, Stephen Malumphey. Tommy Ryan from Tallow, just 20 years of age. Normally plays corner forward. Mentioning corner forwards, there's Lara Corbett. Waterford struggling to try and get it out of that area. Michael Brigg-Walsh, Owen Murphy. Referee eventually says it's going to be a throw ball.
And Marty, we were talking beforehand about the tactic of negating Michael Walsh. That's only the second puck out from Brendan Cummins that has gone down to that area.
More scores coming for Tipperary and for John O'Brien, his 5th of the game. All of them from play. Declan Fanning. Brendan Maher is there. It looks like Fanning. It is Fanning that's coming out with it. Plays it out first, Conor O'Mahony. Goes long, down towards Owen Kelly. Sidesteps the initial challenge from Brigg-Walsh. Gives it back towards Noel McGrath. And that's going to be another free for Tipperary. It's a dramatic change when you consider the last Sunday in May when Tipperary were well beaten by your own county, Donald. They have recovered well, haven't they?
It just shows how false the Munster Championship was, Marty. I think Tip came down to Páirc Uí Chaoimh somewhat rather complacent. I think they felt that they'd get over Cork and that they'd build from there. They got a bit of a rude awakening that they were really, they were the top team in Munster, and they're showing it now.
Owen McGrath, Owen Kelly, I should say, takes his point. And, perhaps it was ominous for Waterford because in last year's Munster final, just mentioning that they didn't do so well, but certainly here the punters are leaving. And I'll give you that statistic in just a moment as we concentrate here on Michael Brigg-Walsh. In last year's Munster final, the Tipperary full forward line scored 3-8 between them. They now have 3-11 scored in this semi-final. Here's a chance, neatly tucked away. Well taken goal of Waterford. Stay alive, if only just. This was the long ball in. Dan Shanahan causing Paul Curran a few problems, and in the sunshine they lost it. And there at the end of it was Owen McGrath to flick it beyond Brendan Cummins.
Yeah, Owen McGrath making a long run and just being at the end of it and just a nice flick.
Owen Murphy is all the way back for his Clinton Hennessy. You know, some of those missed opportunities for Waterford, I'm sure they're going to regret them, because if they had taken them, and obviously they'll be a lot closer, 2 or 3, maybe 4 points between them. That's the luck with the draw, I suppose, when your shooting is not in from frees, but they are vital, which will bring about the debate about taking off Owen Kelly.
Well, the thing about it, Marty, is that, you know, when you're 9 points down, some forward lines fall into the trap of going for goals too early, where, you know, 3 or 4 points will bring you back in the game, because there's always a chance that the defence will relax and you get a chance as Waterford is there.
Ken McGrath gets his 3rd point. And it will also, I'm sure, Donald, considering Ken McGrath's performance, I know it's late in the game and Tipperary look like they haven't won, and even allowing for that, but his impact here is quite impressive. Perhaps he was the one that should have started and not Brian Holloway.
Well, I thought it was a big gamble playing, you know, a young player like that, and very rarely does it work, Marty, and it failed miserably, and it brought Paul Curran and the Tipperary defence into the game. They had great confidence after 20 minutes, and really Waterford weren't able to break them down from there on.
Owen Murphy has to go back to his goalkeeper again to execute the long delivery to his forward line. Oh, that's great hands, brilliant play. Lara Corbett gets the pass from Brendan Maher. There's trouble again, it's Callan. Oh, that's great defending by Brick Walsh. Noel Connors. It was Brick Walsh that provided the hook that prevented Callan from scoring. Declan Prendergast gives it long. Down towards his brother. Looping this one in towards John Milan. Easily won, however, by Paddy Stapleton. Gets it out for as Declan Fanning. Noel Connors. High challenge by John O'Brien. And that to me looks like another yellow card for Tipperary. Their 5th of the day. Will it matter at this stage?
Well, it doesn't matter at this stage, Marty, but they're bad habits to be giving. You know, Noel Connors heading towards the sideline, under a bit of pressure, having to try and hit it down the sideline. All John O'Brien had to do was jockey him a little bit and try and hook him or harass him, and that you might pick up the ball back in your own half-back line. Silly free again.
Long free from Michael Brick Walsh. To Corbett. Put a little bit too much into it. It's an easy ball for Declan Prendergast. Up towards Dan Shannon. Seamus Prendergast. Milan drives it across the face of the goal and wide. Dan Shanahan letting John Milan know his opinion. I think he felt that a pass would have been a better option. We're into injury time, and I think at this stage Brian Cody knows it's going to be a repeat of the 2009 All-Ireland final, as he and his team bid for that 5 in a row, the drive for 5. Will it be Tipperary? Will they be good enough to stop them as they add another point? That's 6 points, all from play for John O'Brien. Referee wants the puck out to be taken again. 7 points between the teams.
Well, I think Tip will be well pleased with their display, and they'll be pleased such that they made enough mistakes as well that they have to work on for the final, Marty. But you know, they were in control really here from the word go. Waterford's forwards really failed to trouble the defence, and as we said earlier, the ploy playing by O'Halloran didn't really work, and you know, Tip have been in control. Made things difficult for themselves by giving away some silly frees, but they own the ball at the moment.
Tony Brown delivers it long. Dan Shannon underneath it, and look where Lara Corbett is. He's supposed to be playing full forward or corner forward. I remember Pascal doing that in football many years ago with Kerry. It's Tipperary against Kilkenny in the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final of 2010. Davy Fitzgerald congratulates Liam Sheedy. Lara Corbett scored a goal and 2 points. The first goal was crucial for Davy Fitzgerald, manager of Waterford for 2 years and 2 months. It's heartbreak. Richie Foley congratulates Michael Cahill. And Tipperary, for the 8th time since 1997, there's a team which was beaten in the provincial championship. They reached the All-Ireland final. Tipperary did it themselves in 97. For Owen Kelly, however, it's heartbreak, but fair play. They're the Kellys. Owen Kelly meeting Owen Kelly. Ken McGrath being quite gracious in defeat, commiserating with his colleagues and congratulating the winners, as Owen Kelly will once again face into Croke Park. But it is, of course, the 8th time that a county that has been beaten in the provincial championship will head back to Croke Park. Offaly, Clare, Kilkenny themselves in 0-4, Limerick and Waterford are all the teams that have come through the qualifiers. For Shane McGrath, there's no doubt about it, but his best position is in the middle of the field. And for Paul Kern, what a revelation at full back. He certainly dominated the early scores. For left corner back, for Noel Connors, it's heartbreak on this particular occasion, but he will be back, as will indeed Liam Sheedy. But will we see Dan the Man? He scored the goal that essentially gave Waterford their 9th Munster title in extra time. But Lara Corbett will grace Croke Park on the first Sunday in September. His goal after 22 minutes, added to by Owen Kelly after 52 and 59, ensured that above all else it was the Premier County, having suffered big time in Páirc Uí Chaoimh when Isaki O'Halpine had the game of his life. Tipperary went the scenic route around Ireland, beating Wexford and Offaly and Galway before finally seeing off the challenge of the Munster champions here in the All-Ireland semi-final. Full-time score in Croke Park in the second of the GAA's All-Ireland hurling semi-finals is Tipperary 319, Waterford 180. Michael.